Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look again on the Forex market. So some changes are coming on the Forex as well, although we do not see really fast action in euro currency, although actually our suggestion that the market looks not as strong as it should be in the current environment was correct, and you can see that some downward action has happened recently, right from the points where market was not able to complete and proceed with the intraday hand and shoulders pattern. Now I'm just give you a few moments on the daily chart. It might be interesting if you're following using the Napoli technique in analysis or just using the fib extensions. Sometimes people ask me how to apply different fib extensions and how to correctly set the ABC points, because we have few retracements here, and you could use, for instance, this ABC points as we did previously, and here was the XOP, or you could use a larger ABCD. What are correct from it? What more correct? Actually, guys, both extensions are correct, but my experience, although this is not mentioned in the book of the Napoli, my experience tells me that initially, when the just first retracement has happened, you use initial retracements, initial ABCD patterns, like this. So that was on the chart yesterday when the market hits the XOP. When the XOP has completed, you should use these one extensions from the former C points to the next BC and use them as a target, because by my experience tells that these extensions are more commonly touched by the market, and market gradually gravitates to these extensions. And you can see here is once again XOP has been completed. So in our case, both XOP stands in the same area, and only after that, when these extensions already are done, you start using big extension to estimate next standing targets. And here we come into the OP. It's around 104.35, although we could say that mostly it has been done. It's just few pips here until the OP. And XOP of this extension will be around 1 or 12 area. So that's approximately how we use the extensions. At least I apply this technique when I need to estimate the next targets. But this is theoretical moments. Now turning back to the practical issues. So what we could say here, yesterday I have mentioned this butterfly and said I will not be surprised too much if we will get this pattern, because as we mentioned here a few moments that we are getting first signs of the bearish dynamic pressure. Yesterday we also have got bearish reversal candle, kind of the bearish reversal, so market created a new top and closed almost below the lows of the previous session, and potentially we could get downside action. Besides, if you'll take a look, guys, at the interest rates in the United States, you could see that the 10-year yield already 4.9, and 20-year yield and 30-year yield already stands above the 5%. 30 years probably even 5.25. Mortgage rates around 8%. So everything is running up, and this, of course, will be additional headwind for the euro currency and will make the pressure on its performance in the nearest time. So currently the expectations once again of the traders once again have started to change. Investors once again start to expect more chances on the rate hike, as we said previously, and then we talk about this every time in our weekly report. Fed will keep rising rate. So all this stuff and expectations that this is a pivot, Fed is down with the interest rates, they have no fundamental background, and Fed will try to keep and move rates higher. So and I won't be surprised if we'll get another rate change even in November. Although now everybody speaks about January, but I suppose that in November it also might be. So anyway, this definitely is bearish factor for the euro currency. Now returning back to the euro currency, technical view, if we'll take a look at the full time frame chart, here are a few moments that we need to consider. At the first glance, you could see that in general, daily trend remains bullish. Market, yes, it was not able to proceed higher, but it shows some pullback, and theoretically you could just have an idea of the possible upward ABCD pattern, right? So why not? So theoretically it is possible, who knows? Market could find here support and start upward action and form this ABCD pattern. But here is some nuance exists that tells you that this scenario is has very small chances on success because of the recent performance. So take a look what has happened. Market has dropped below the previous lows here. So it means that ABCD pattern that we've got previously right now is cancelled. So it is not valid anymore. It means that the hand and shoulders pattern that we were considering is also actually is done. So it can't just keep going higher to XOP with the same pattern, return back above the neckline and so on. So besides here, market has formed bearish reversal bar. It makes more probable downside continuation, and here you could use different patterns. So once one of them I have put here, you can see this ABCD pattern, which is the inner ABCD for the butterfly here, right? So you could use this ABCD to the downside. You could use, for example, minor butterfly that maybe could form right there. So on a BC leg, take a look, it might be left wing of the butterfly with a minor pullback, it will be right wing, and just keep going lower. It depends on the time scale and how you prefer to trade. So this is two moments. Finally, if you consider this overall performance with this potential shoulder head, right? So this performance here, inability market to close and to complete the shape of the hand and shoulders, it's always is a bearish sign, which makes me think, together with the interest rates dynamic that we have currently, that market is preparing for downside continuation. Finally, on an hourly chart, if you consider it, let's take a look at the type of action that we have here. Could you call it as some kind of the bullish reversal performance after the collapse? I would call it more like the retracement after the drop, because here more or less thrusting action was, but right there it's very difficult to call it as a really acceleration and some thrusting bullish performance. So it's more choppy, it's more like the sideways consolidation, something of that sort. From that standpoint, I'm tending to gravitate to the scenario where we could keep watch for some resistance levels on this, just on the recent downside action. First one is already touched, is 105.50. Next one is 105.66. Also theoretically you could use 50% here, but their stance rates you can see very close to each other, just a 16 pips difference. And potentially I think that this combination is, well, seems possible to consider taking the short position. So that's what currently it look like. So of course in this case, when the C point has already been touched and overcome, so this ABCD is not valid, and of course this XOP is also not valid anymore. So we're now watching for possible downward continuation. That's actually what we have on the euro currency. So let's keep watching what will happen.